Never done this before on YouTube. So after 6 years, y'all might have realized, some of you guys that have stayed subscribers, I'm back active. Slide Fire is back. So in June, the Supreme Court has overturned the bump stock ban and Slide Fire is back in action. A lot of new people won't understand how that's relevant, but so my name is Jeremiah Cottle. On social media, my handle is the Bearded Prophet. Jeremiah was a prophet in the Bible. I've got a beard. Thought it was funny for you guys that have questions. One of the things I want to do over the next few weeks is create long format videos that can help young entrepreneurs throughout building a business. That is one of the things over the last 6 years while I was on a temporary vacation that I found that brought a lot of joy and happiness to myself. So I just want you guys to tune in, listen up. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do the best I can to answer them. I was very fortunate and very blessed that I've been part of building numerous multi-million-dollar businesses. I grew up in a West Texas town of about 250 people. We were dirt farmers. I came from very, very humble beginnings. 15 years ago, I was on food stamps. I believe there is opportunity in this new world where literally you can touch an audience being one individual across the entire nation. So I think that's a big barrier to entry that has been knocked down over the last 25 years. And I'd like to help teach people, if I can, help people adjust their business strategies that may give them the opportunity to pursue their own goals like I had the opportunity to do as well. I've got steaks on the grill. This is got about 40 minutes. So if any of you guys popped on, have any questions, feel free to ask. My name's Jeremiah Cottle. I'm an inventor. I invented the bump stock. My company's Slide Fire Solutions. We built that ground up in a town of about 235 people in West Texas. It was one of the neatest experiences that I had to be part of. West Texas, there's not a lot of opportunity outside of the oil field. And so like myself, I graduated there. There were 2 other people in my class, so my graduating class was 3 people. Back in the 90s, the only way out of West Texas was typically if you weren't born into a well-off family. Back then, banks still controlled student lending. So if your family wasn't financially well off, like, hey guys, you didn't even have the opportunity to get out of there. So that's when I joined the military. But I'll answer some of these questions. These are fun. Trump or Kamala? You know, my daughter asked me that about a month ago. And, you know, Trump's human. He makes mistakes. I believe that he's more Democratic than he is Republican based off of how it was when I grew up. But things are so crazy now. I think we need a younger president. I mean, but I like that he has I think Robert Kennedy joining is a great thing. Unfortunately, Kamala hasn't done anything for this country. She's had numerous opportunities. She was in charge of the border, and it sucks. So I'm like, I think we need to grade them on their actions. I think people can make mistakes, obviously, but that's not a mistake. That's just dereliction of duty. And I can't get behind that. I was really looking at Robert Kennedy before all of it. I disagree with him on some things, but he's very intelligent. I believe that he really cares about the people in this country. So the fact that he has had the conversations with President Trump that he would get on board, you know, like I said, all I need is an apology. He made a mistake with what he did to my company by banning my invention. So How's it going, Wyatt? But yeah, I mean, I hope that answers your question. Um, I'll keep talking here. Like I said, I got a little bit of time before the steaks are done. I like answering the questions. Been very blessed and fortunate to have lived a very interesting life. Um, it's, I was up at the Supreme Court earlier this year, and getting to be part of, you know, it's pretty cool to be able to see that one of your inventions actually made it to the Supreme Court. Regardless, I mean, like, regardless of what it is, like from an inventor standpoint, that was pretty freaking cool. That was a really unique experience. But, I joined the military. I went to the local community college prior to that for a year. And when I just decided that I was tired of just constantly being fed information, I wanted to go find information. So you're not going to find that in the oil field. So I joined the military, and within the next year, I was living in Europe. That for most people, that was before cell phones. Internet was just barely getting going. When I tell my daughter I'm older than Google, she's like, "What?" And I'm like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that get that. But so I was stationed in Ramstein, Germany, and I was part of the 37th Airlift Squadron. I was a loadmaster there. Bosnia was still going on. We were on the back end of it. So we were constantly flying combat missions daily down there, but it was after all the real hot stuff had happened for the most part. Um, I remember when Hillary Clinton came down there, I wasn't on the actual assignment, but some of the other NCOs were. And no, they weren't like, yes, we wore flak vests. That's what she was wearing. Everyone had to wear them, but there weren't bullets flying everywhere. We did get shot at occasionally, but like on takeoff and landing, but that was humorous. No, I did that over there for like 3.5 years. At that point, we were pregnant with my second son, and I decided to change into a support AFSC. That was a computer support or operations manager, something like the 3CO. And I got to learn a lot about the internet, and got to do some really cool things on that side of the world. We worked directly with NSA and other intelligence agencies, keeping the network up and stable that those organizations operate on. And when I was deployed overseas in support of OEF, or Global War on Terror, I got injured, spent some time in the hospital, came back stateside, ended up having to have 2 brain surgeries, came out of them really bad. Let's see, I didn't drive a car for 6 years. Took me about 3 months to figure out how to do the coffee maker again. Like, that was a tough one. Like, coffee maker kicked my ass over and over and over again. But I can make coffee. So, worked through that, moved back to Texas, I was already in Texas at that point. I was in San Antonio, but I moved back to Northwest Texas to the family farm. Moved in with my grandparents because at that point the VA system was overwhelmed, and when they put you out of the military, you have to waive your retirement to get your VA benefits, but the VA benefits don't come immediately. They have to go through the system. So fast forward anyway, we were living on Social Security for it's right at 2 years. And then at the Abilene Reporter News, which Dyess Air Force Base is there, ran an article on it, and magically I got my benefits the next day. I mean, I guess I must have been next in line. But, we had to sell our house, we had to sell our cars, we had to move in with my grandparents. Like, I wasn't in good shape. They got me strung out on so many pills. They were giving me 240 Percocet and 120 methadone and a ton of other crap monthly. Like, that's enough to kill a freaking elephant. So, struggled with that for several years, for actually 9 years. I thought I was doing the right thing because the doctors were telling me I needed them. out they were wrong. But anyway, fast forward a few years, I'm getting better, I'm getting stronger. I'm back to my hunting and fishing roots. Do I support Palestine? You know, I don't know any Palestinians, just like I know very few Jews. Like, I just don't want people killing each other all the freaking time. It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand it to speak one way or another, but I know like killing each other all the time ain't the answer. And whether it's one side doing it or the other, we've got to get past this. Like, it's not okay to just destroy city blocks with people in it. That's not any answer. And nor is like killing people in a freaking concert either. So, like, people got to stop doing that type of stuff. Like, I hope that answers your question. No, so in about 2009, I started getting out there and doing my hunting fishing thing because that's the only thing to do in West Texas. And I started hunting coyotes and stuff like that, and I started getting other veterans involved. And just through the re-engagement into the outdoors, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Those are kind words. I appreciate that. I started getting back into my hunting and fishing roots, and you know, growing up as a kid, like there was no internet, cable wasn't around. Like when you got home from school, the only thing to do in West Texas is go hunting and fishing. And that was a time where we had John Wayne and the Rifleman and Rambo and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and every kid wanted to grow up and be a soldier. It was a very, very different time then. And so, you know, my love for firearms and shooting fast just comes back from the childhood that I grew up with. And, you know, I came up with the invention of the bump stock. And, you know, it came up from going out one day and shooting with a buddy and putting it on my belt loop and shooting super freaking fast and going, holy crap, that's cool. And, like, it's fun. Shooting fast is fun. Just like jumping out of airplanes is fun. And driving race cars is fun. And I just thought that if you could shoot it from your belt loop like that, there had to be a way that you could actually. The bad thing from holding it on your hip is bullets go everywhere. Like, you know, I tell the story when I first did it. Like, a bullet went over and I heard the cows, my granddad's cows on the other side, mooing. And I'm like, I hope I didn't hit one of those cows. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way, a safer way, to be able to do the same thing and just hold the gun properly. And I came up with a couple of different things that they just didn't work well. Some of them didn't work at all, or they were just hard to make work. And then sort of put it to rest for a few months. And then, you know, one night it just came to me. I was like, you have to replace the back end of the firearm. And so if you look on my channel, you'll see some of the videos where the first prototype it literally looks like a boat oar. It's a 2x10 PVC pipe and duct tape and a little bit of woodwork done with a Dremel and a sander. But it worked. Man, it worked really well. And that was in around 2010. And you know, that sort of got me into a world that I'd never experienced. And that's the sort of the business world that I want to talk about in the future videos. That's the sort of preface to all of this leading up to the creation of my company. And, you know, I went through a lot of development. I had to learn a lot of things there. We didn't have wonderful things like AI that can create websites very quickly. And when you're poor, you can't hire anybody. So, like, you learn a lot of things very, very quickly out of necessity. And I hope I can share some of those things with you. I hope the stories will help someone get to the next level, achieve that financial freedom, maybe that little bit of extra security to take care of their family, you know, put a little bit more meat on the table. I think that's important. So I'm gonna go get ready to pull them steaks off the grill for myself. If any of y'all have any questions, I guess this goes on to my stories forever. If y'all have any questions, then y'all can reach out to me either through one of my other videos, or if this one goes up, this one. I'll try to point you whatever I can. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the interaction, the interest. Take care of each other. Be kind. And thank y'all for tuning in. Be safe.